What encouragement would you give students who want to invest that time and money into their education?
Education is one of the biggest investments that you can make. Take the time to invest in yourself, get the education, get the credentials because it'll be well worth it in the end. The jobs are out there.
Hey, this is Shay.
And this is Carrie,
Welcome to the Pocket Change Podcast.
where you'll learn better ways to spend, save, and invest and take control of your financial journey.
So, Carrie, everyone's education looks different, whether it's, 4-year traditional school, technical school. Some people go straight to work.
That's right. And thankfully, we have lots of options around
Mhm.
here, TCAT being one of them. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to speak to the president of TCAT today and see what all she tells us.
I might get myself a new certification. Who knows?
Is it going to be in plumbing?
Maybe welding.
We're excited to welcome our guest today, Dr. JacQuene Rainey, president of TCAT Jackson. Welcome to Pocket Change.
Well, thank you all for having me. It's great to be here.
Right. Let's start with your story. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your early career path?
Okay, so I am the president of TCAT Jackson. Of
Mhm.
course, there's 24 TCATs across the state of Tennessee. I've been in the system for approximately 16 years now, and I first began my journey in the TCAT system at TCAT in Whiteville. Prior to stepping into that role, I worked in manufacturing. I was born and raised here in Jackson, and so I've worked at different manufacturing facilities. One of my church members was in administration at TCAT Whiteville, and she felt that I would be a good fit for the student service coordinator position. And so I went and I applied for it, and I just fell in love with the mission of the TCATs. And so I worked there for 7 years as the student service coordinator. And then I moved into the assistant director and vice president role at the Tennessee College of Applied Technology Northwest, which encompassed Covington, Ripley, and New Bern. And I was in that role for 7 years prior to transitioning into the role that I'm in now.
Wow.
And you've been there since 2024, right?
Yes,
At TCAT
October
Jackson?
1st of
Okay.
2024.
just
So it
over a
has been
year.
over a year
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, time has definitely flown by.
Yeah. So your background, you've have a manufacturing background or
Yes.
a technical school background. And so how has that helped you lead today in education and impacted?
So it has helped me because what we're doing is we are preparing our students for the workforce.
Mhm.
And so workforce development, the TCATs, we
Mhm.
are the premier providers of workforce development
Mhm.
Yeah.
training. And so I have an appreciation
Mhm.
for the types of jobs that
Mhm.
our students go to work in.
Mhm.
I have a passion for the TCATs and what we do. And so my background has helped me because I understand the importance and the value of these
Mhm.
jobs.
Mhm.
I understand that these are really great paying jobs with benefits that can
Mhm.
help support families because it did for me,
That's right.
when I was a single parent. And so this is something that I love to promote. This is something that I believe in.
Mhm.
And so, yes, it 100% helped me
Mhm.
in the role that I'm in now because I'm an advocate for
Right.
technical education.
That makes sense. You can
Yes.
tell someone or a student, I've been on the line before or whatever, and
Absolutely.
had that experience. So that just
Yeah.
makes it better.
Yeah, because
Well,
I didn't start out in an office
Yeah.
position. I started out working on the assembly lines and,
Right.
putting, dishwashers together and faucets together.
Mhm.
So I definitely understand, the type of work that industries have, the jobs, the maintenance positions, tool and die positions, the
Mhm.
welders, the brazers. So absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you're a good inspiration for them as well.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about TCAT Jackson, what programs and opportunities you guys have for students there.
Okay, so TCAT Jackson, of course, our main campus is located near the Jackson Regional Airport,
Mhm.
and we actually now have 10 campus locations. So we have
Wow.
extension campuses and we have instructional service centers across our service delivery area. We have 27 programs currently, and we actually just started our new trimester January the 5th.
Mhm.
And so some of our top programs are practical nursing, welding, industrial maintenance, automotive technology, machine tool technology. We'll be implementing a new practical nursing, certified medical assistant to practical nursing bridge program at our Brownsville campus. And this is a new program that we have under the governor's rural healthcare Pathways Expansion Grant, where we received $2 million
Wow.
to implement a program for rural healthcare. And so,
Mhm.
with Haywood County being a distressed county, we felt that would be the right fit. And so, we're excited to implement that program next year. And we'll also be implementing an HVAC evening program that'll be
Okay.
coming up here soon. So just
That's
really
great.
excited.
Mhm.
And we started a partnership this year with West Tennessee Healthcare. So we have a practical nursing program
Mhm.
as well as a central sterile processing program located at the hospital.
That's
Wow.
wonderful.
So you have those locations that are on site, those
Mm,
instructional locations like at the hospital and
mhm.
then also extension
Ex-
campuses. So
Mhm.
that's great. That's
Mhm.
a lot of access for
Mhm.
students to be able to have
Absolutely.
those trainings
Yeah.
and that
And we try to
education.
be there for our community.
Mhm.
So our service delivery area across the state of Tennessee, you can find a TCAT campus location
Mhm.
within
Mhm.
a 30 to 40-mile radius of each other.
Mhm.
So we try to make it as accessible as possible.
Mhm.
So you also have the fairly new campus in Stanton, the
Yes.
Mhm.
TCAT Stanton campus, and how does that tie into Blue Oval and all the industry that'll be, developing in this area and that pipeline of workers?
So the Stanton campus was an investment by the state of Tennessee in
Hmm.
support of the Blue Oval Initiative. And so at our campus, we have trainers who provide the training for the Ford and at the time Blue Oval SK employees. And so we will continue to do so,
Hmm.
as they, employ their workers. And we also have 5 TCAT programs currently. So we're
Wow.
enrolling. We have students that are enrolled in these programs. We have about 13 students graduating this trimester.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes, so we started those programs. Our first enrollment was fall of last year. And so our first graduates are graduating now. So we're excited about
Mhm.
that. And we have some new enrollees coming in the spring. And so our role and our mission is to continue to train students, be a good industry partner,
Hmm.
and also to be there for our community. We also have different agencies. The American Job Center, they have offices located in the building to help with
Mhm.
resources for our students.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also heavily involved with the community. If there are any events that they have, we have the space at
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
Stanton campus. We actually
Beautiful
held
campus.
we
Mhm.
had the Brownsville 200-year gala
Oh.
there. We also had the Carl Perkins Gala, their fundraising event
Hmm.
that they
Hmm.
host every year. So we had it there as well. So lots of exciting things
Oh,
going
that's
on in
great.
Stanton.
That's
Yes.
great.
Yeah. So, do you mind sharing a success story that has stuck out with you?
Yes. So our students, and we love to highlight our students on our
Mhm.
Facebook and
Hmm.
social media. These students come back and they talk to the other students, about the success and the jobs that they've had. And so
Mhm.
one that sticks out, we had a student. He currently works at TVA.
Mm.
Mhm.
And so he is doing very well. And I'm not sure if you all have heard of the Boilermakers Union, but it's a
Mhm.
prestigious, organization. And so sometimes it takes approximately 10 years to become a
Mhm.
member of that. And so
Wow.
he tested in within 1 year and was able
Wow.
to become a part of that. And so that's really a big deal. And he's
Mhm.
come and he was a former welding student. And so he came and spoke to the class and,
Mm.
just shared that if I can do it, you can do it. And
Right.
so that's really encouraging for our other
Mhm.
students to see the types of jobs and the opportunities that are out there.
Mhm. That's wonderful.
We hear a lot about skilled trades and skilled workers, and it almost seems like a buzzword because it is mentioned a lot.
Mhm.
But I don't mean that negatively. It's positive because
Mhm.
they're needed and they're jobs that help us every day and vital to really our economy. So why is that? And just tell us about the importance of why these skilled trades are so necessary.
So we're now seeing the importance because the job market, the infrastructure. It used to be that vocational education, technical education was only meant for those who couldn't cut it in a 4-year college or 2-year institution. But now we're seeing that these jobs are paying
Hmm.
really good money, the benefits, and so we're able to now. We're seeing, the trades, there may people that are retiring. And so now we're needing, more workers in those areas. And we're seeing that the growth, the
Mhm.
infrastructure, that is now coming up, that the jobs that are required, your construction, your welders,
Mhm.
your HVAC, your maintenance technicians. We're seeing such an increase in the need for those jobs. And so from the state, the governor has invested so much into technical education
Mhm.
with new buildings, new TCATs, the infrastructure, because he understands the value of technical education. And we're also
Yeah.
seeing that across the country as well.
Well, we always gonna need, HVAC person to fix our AC or a heater
Absolutely.
when it in the wintertime or in the summertime with the AC, and
Mhm.
all those things are always gonna be necessary, so we've
Absolutely.
gotta have that pipeline
Yes.
to fuel that. Mhm.
Well, I have a personal question. So, I have a son who is a freshman in
Okay.
high school. So, for those who are beginning high school, what can they do now to prepare for if they want to, go to TCAT?
So one thing I am very proud of is our robust dual enrollment.
Mhm.
Mm.
We have over 3,400 dual enrollment students in our high schools across our service delivery
Mhm.
areas.
Wow.
So I would say that if your son or any other
Mhm.
students were interested in TCAT, to maybe take a dual enrollment
Okay.
class. And so, for instance, I'll give you an example: welding.
Mhm.
We offer welding within the high schools. And so
Mm.
if someone wanted to enroll in the high school, they get credit
Mhm.
for that, and then when they graduate and enroll in the post-secondary program,
Mhm.
they don't have to spend as much
Okay.
time,
Wow.
because they've already gotten prior credit,
Mhm.
for what they did in
That's
the high
great
school.
advice.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
He is interested in welding, so I'm
Okay.
definitely going to tell him that.
Wonderful, and
Mhm.
we go into the high
Mhm.
schools and, we talk about TCAT, and we
Mhm.
try to promote, what we
Mhm.
do when we're
Mhm.
invited to the career fairs
Yeah.
and other community,
Mhm.
events. And so and also I welcome, the parents as well as the students to come and take a tour,
Mhm.
of the TCAT and see what we have to offer. And,
Mhm.
there's many programs, that we have that I think that would be beneficial.
Yes. Well, I personally, thankfully, because of my job, I have been given the privilege to take a tour of, several facilities and or campuses, and I just am so impressed with what you guys have to
Well,
offer. So him coming into high school, I
mhm.
was I was all for it because I can see that he would be really good at it, and he's excited, and I've already seen it, and I'm like, I agree. I think this would be great for you.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to tell him that
Yeah.
advice.
And we also now we can, 9th and 10th graders are eligible for the dual enrollment
Okay.
grant.
Wow.
So, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you seeing more like adult non-traditional age, or what are your typical student ages?
Our students range in age from 17 to 60 plus.
Okay.
Mhm.
Of course, we have with the Tennessee Promise, so we see a lot of high school graduates. Every year we have a signing day, and so it
Mhm.
kind of
Mm.
mimics, the college signing
Mhm.
day. And so
That's
these
great.
are students who are graduating who will be enrolling in our program. So
Mhm.
we usually host that every year, and so we've seen the numbers go up each year that we host that event. But we also have the non-traditional students, those adults who come back to school after a period of time, and we have the TCAT Reconnect, which is a scholarship for
Mhm.
those individuals. But generally, it's just wherever they are in their life, whether
Mhm.
it's being a high school graduate, whether they wanted to change careers, whether they may have been laid off from a previous job and decided, I want to do something else,
Mhm.
or those who have been laid off that didn't have a credential, but now that they're back in the job market, they're saying, I need to go back to school and get some type of credential.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then we've had some who just wanted to enroll so they could have the knowledge for themselves.
Mhm.
So our population is very diverse.
Mhm.
That's great.
Yeah, I've
Mhm.
got a friend who's going into a new career path and is using TCAT for that
Mhm.
education. So
Mhm.
it's across the board from high school graduates to
Yeah.
even older adults. So
Mhm.
And we've had students who actually have bachelor's and master's degrees
mhm.
that, they've switched career fields and they enrolled in our practical nursing program. And
Mhm.
Mhm.
so now they're um, in the field and matriculating on to RN school. So,
Mhm.
Wow.
I always say it's never too late to
Mhm.
switch
Mhm.
careers, or, that's what happened to me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I went from manufacturing to education. So
Yeah,
it's never
Mhm.
too late.
That's
that's
right.
right. So you mentioned some of the programs that are available to students and even non-traditional students. What other What other barriers do you see that are sometimes there for students when they're trying to get their education?
So, two of the biggest barriers that I see with our students is childcare and
Hmm.
transportation,
That
Mm,
makes sense.
especially those students who live in rural areas.
right.
Mhm.
You know, they're we have an attendance policy. And so once students have, reached so many hours of absenteeism, then we have to go through the appeal process. And, some of the letters that I read, are very heartbreaking because these are people who are really trying to better
Hmm.
themselves. They want to further their education and they know that coming to school and getting that education is going to be, the way for them to have a better quality of life
Right.
but the car that they're driving, they have to get it fixed. The tires, go out on them, or they're relying on other people to
Mhm.
bring them, and they're late because they have to wait for somebody, or
Mhm.
they're catching a ride with someone else. And we have young mothers who are wanting to better themselves,
Mhm.
but they don't have adequate childcare. And
Hmm.
so those are two of the largest barriers that we see
Mhm.
Hmm.
and, we work with a lot of the agencies, and during new student orientation, we provide the students with a list of resources
Hmm.
Mhm.
for, the types of issues that they're having,
Mhm.
whether it may be the need for gas cards or if they're having any childcare issues. And so hopefully, those are the things that can help them. But yes, those are
Mhm.
the
Hmm.
largest barriers that we have.
Yeah.
I can see that. So, being part of leaders, we have the Leaders Education Foundation. So, could you tell me how our workforce readiness scholarships have helped out TCAT and students?
It's an amazing opportunity, and
Mhm.
I am so appreciative of our community partners. And when you provide those types of scholarships and opportunities for our students, those students who are struggling, because they may receive, a grant, to help pay for their tuition, but there's still a gap,
Hmm.
with their books and with their supplies and, other needs. And
Like you
so
said, transportation or
Mhm.
childcare
absolutely.
costs,
So
things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
those scholarships are
Hmm.
really helpful for them
Mhm.
to help, fill in those gaps,
Mhm.
that they have, that wasn't covered before.
Mhm.
So I'm truly grateful, for any scholarships that they're able to
Mhm.
receive. So we appreciate you all being able to provide those.
Yeah, we're very grateful for that as well. And for those who do not know, we're happy to share information about how you can apply for that.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
Yep. Well, we appreciate it. And
Yeah. They open up a three terms like TCAT has,
Mhm.
trimesters. So it's on our website, leadersgives.org. And it's you can find it on there under the scholarship tab or slash workforce dash scholarship. So that's kind of long, but if you go to leadersgives.org and
Mhm.
find the scholarships, they're on there.
we do share that
Yeah. Oh,
information.
y'all
Yeah.
are great at sharing it.
Yes, you are.
All the schools are. So we appreciate
Mhm.
y'all sharing that information. Along those lines, what encouragement would you give students who want to invest that time and money into their education?
That education is one of the biggest investments that you can make
Mhm.
Mhm.
within yourself. Your education, once you've obtained it, that's something that you can carry with you wherever you go,
Mhm.
whether you stay at a job or if you want to move up or move on, that education is going to go with you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So take the time to invest in yourself. Get the education, get the credentials because it'll be well worth it in the end. The jobs are out there
Mhm.
and we have availability in our programs. We want students to come, we want them to enroll, and we want them to get those credentials so that they can go to work. So, education 100%, it's an
Mhm.
investment.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And how do students find out more about TCAT? What's y'all's website?
So, our website is
Mhm.
www.tcatjackson.edu.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're also on Facebook and
Mhm.
Instagram, all the
All
Mhm.
the
social
social
media.
media.
So,
Mhm.
Check out what the students are saying about
yeah.
their experience, and
Mhm.
also check out the website
Yes.
tcatjackson.edu.
And
Yes.
go tour
Yeah.
the
Go
campuses.
tour,
They're
set up a
beautiful.
tour,
Mhm.
or if you need more information, you can go to our website and to receive more information and
Mhm.
someone will contact you
Mhm.
and, we love giving tours and
Yeah.
we actually love going to set up and visit out in the community.
Mhm.
So any
Mhm.
invitations that we receive, we love to be a part of the
Mhm.
community.
That's great.
Before we wrap up, we always like to ask our guests, what's the best financial advice you've ever been given?
Well, first and foremost, make sure that you pay your bills first. Also, sometimes our jobs, we may not be making what we think we should make,
Mhm.
but sometimes it's an opportunity. Sometimes it's a stepping stone to something else. And so if you're able to work a job and move up, then allow yourself that opportunity to gain the knowledge so that you can move up into your career so you can make more money.
Mhm.
Don't be so quick to say no to a position that you feel is not paying you. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying to be taken advantage of, but
Mhm.
that's
Right.
just to say that sometimes those opportunities come, but you have to put in the time for it.
Mhm.
But
It may
yes,
lead to bigger and better
it
Yeah.
things
can
in the
lead to bigger
future.
and bigger
Mhm.
things. Yes.
All right. So if you had some extra pocket change, just a little bit of pocket change in your pocket, what
Mhm.
would you spend it on?
Me, I would probably give it away.
Mhm.
I love to give back to the community. I love to help others.
Mhm.
I think I've been blessed, and so it's a great feeling to be able to pay it forward and
That's
to
right.
bless
Mhm.
others.
Mhm.
So that's what I do.
It helps out others and makes you feel just as good. It's a
It
blessing
does,
for you.
knowing
So,
that you're making a
mhm.
difference. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Dr. Rainey, for being with
Well,
us
thank you
today.
all so
We
much for having me
enjoyed.
on. I really had a great time. Thank you all so
Mhm.
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Pocket Change Podcast.
Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, and check out our full episodes on YouTube,
The Pocket Change Podcast was brought to you by Leaders Credit Union.
where we power your passion and make lives better. Cha-ching! Some people go to technical school. Some people just go straight to work.
That's right. Yes, I wasn't expecting him to say it. Some people just go straight to work. You just dumped it on me.
Good statement. Thank you.
Hey,
What's the question? Leaders is federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
learn more at leaderscu.com.